Your forecast first from the WDHN First Alert Storm Team, brought to you by Sunset Memorial Park.
We're watching a very dangerous situation unfold across the state of Alabama and Mississippi as we're seeing multiple tornadoes on the ground. Confirmed tornadoes near Meridian, just to the north of Birmingham and north of Tuscaloosa. Tornado watches are in effect. These are particularly dangerous situations ongoing across the state, and this will move its way into the wiregrass as we go later on. Eventually, that level 4 risk of severe weather will continue to go through our region, and storms could arrive as early as 10 p.m. Central. I have all the details and what you need to know on the timing, the specific impacts, and what we can see as a special edition of WDHN News at 5 starts right now.
Live for the Wiregrass, this is WDHN News at 5.
A monster storm sweeping across the nation, already killing at least 17 people, and millions of Americans are on high alert after at least 23 tornadoes were reported across 4 states. Good evening and welcome to a special edition of WDHN News, the only station with local newscasts on the weekend. I'm Michael Rinker.
And I'm Jessica Gauthier. Tonight, the entire state of Alabama bracing for a dangerous tornado outbreak, capable of producing violent, long-track tornadoes, large hail, and destructive winds up to hurricane force.
Several devastating tornadoes are already wreaking havoc in Mississippi earlier today, and that same storm system is making its way here towards the Wiregrass. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Jordan Ambrose to break down this threat and its timing. Jordan.
Yes, even the National Weather Service has described this as a PDS, which means particularly dangerous situation that's unfolding in areas of Alabama and Mississippi. And I'm actually going to start off on links 2 to give you an overall view of what's happening. All of these blinking purple polygons, those are confirmed tornadoes that are on the ground as we are speaking and as I'm speaking to you. This is the situation that's ongoing in this level 5 risk, and this will extend into the level 4 risk as we go towards your nighttime hours. A PDS tornado watch is under effect for all of our western portions of the state, and you see these are confirmed tornadoes that are on the ground moving through the state. We have actually seen a tornado so far that has started in Louisiana and now has made its way to the Mississippi-Alabama border, has been on the ground for the last 4 hours. This is what we mean by long track violent tornadoes, and this could make its way to the Wiregrass, especially as we get closer to your nighttime hours. That can sometimes enhance the risk because nocturnal tornadoes kill twice as many people than tornadoes do when the sun is out. Now we're going to switch back to links 1. I'm actually going to show you what's going on. Now we see our satellite and radar, but you see these warnings ongoing. This is all a part of a cold front, but we're seeing supercells develop ahead of this cold front. And one thing that we're going to have to watch is we see some brief tornado warnings on the southern side coming from the Gulf. We have to watch these storms because eventually, as we get towards your nighttime hours, they will come from the Gulf into the Panhandle and possibly make its way into the Wiregrass. And some of these supercells could be occurring in our region as well. We don't want you guys to let your guard down, even if we're under a level 4 risk. I don't like to compare severe weather events, but under the Cottonwood tornado that we saw about a year ago, we were under a level 3 risk. We're under a higher risk today, and some of the highest risk we have seen in over 2 years, almost 2 years across the Wiregrass. The level 5 risk extends from Meridian to Birmingham, areas just to the south of Huntsville and just to the north of Montgomery. All of our Wiregrass counties have the potential to see the same threats that they're seeing in this level 5 risk. So this is why I want you guys to stay weather aware. I'm going to show you 2 scenarios that could happen. Now, as we continue to go throughout the next couple of hours, we're going to see some of these storms. Now, the storms could be in a more discrete mode, which means we have less storms, but these supercells could be a little bit more powerful. So maybe everybody might not necessarily see a thunderstorm, but one supercell could maybe make its way through the area and bring the possibility of a destructive tornado, wind gust up to 75 miles per hour, or hail greater than lime size. Now, this is one scenario, but we do have a secondary scenario, and I think this could maybe even be a more, at least, worst case scenario. The second scenario is that we have this line of storms that continues to maintain itself, and we continue to get that moisture from the Gulf. And as that happens, we have multiple supercells along this line of storms, maybe a first round, maybe into your early to late nighttime hours. And then once we get closer to midnight, you see multiple supercells just ahead of this line. The one thing that I don't like, and this is just a model depiction, is some of these supercells look near Andalusia. You see this hook right here. Usually that's indicative of those supercells that have the tend to produce tornadoes. As this continues to move to the east, then our threat continues to increase. Multiple supercells along this line, maybe even bringing wind impacts as well. Things eventually calm down by daybreak, but we have very high confidence, extreme confidence, that destructive wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour could be possible. High confidence that we could see several long track tornadoes. Some of these tornadoes could be EF2 or above. The Storm Prediction Center has mentioned violent tornadoes. Life-threatening situations could occur. Hail up to the size of limes and localized flooding. That is all on the possibility for today. Now, I want you guys to stay safe and stay weather aware. I would rather give you guys the worst case scenario and let you guys stay safe and nothing happens, compared to I want to downplay the situation and then we have a situation where we have multiple long track tornadoes on the ground. So what do you need to do? If you stay in a mobile home, make sure that you're with somebody who has at least a house or a very sturdy building or a sturdy storm shelter so you need to know your safe place. Also have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings. Have protective gear. If you guys have a helmet or anything to protect your head, or a mattress if you get under a tornado warning, put that above your head. Have ways to alert first responders. Take your belongings and valuables with you. Tornado shelter options. Again, the most interior, well-built structures at the lowest level, basements or storm cellars, FEMA certified safe rooms, or above ground storm shelters. Places to avoid: mobile homes and manufactured buildings. I believe if you stay in a mobile home by sunset, you should be by somebody's house that has a very sturdy shelter and that has a solid foundation. Vehicles underneath highway and overpasses and large rooms, those are a big no-no. Now, for severe weather, again, for pet safety, confine your pets to one room in the house. Have leashes or carriers. Stock up on enough food and water. Provide toys to keep them relaxed, and keep pictures and tags just in case they get lost. So again, we have a long, long night ahead of us. Now, I want you guys, again, to stay safe and stay prepared. I know we have best and worst case scenarios, but I also want to just be honest with you that we do have the potential to see these long track violent tornadoes as there are tornadoes on the ground as we speak in western Alabama. Now, after that, we will clear out for your Sunday, but these storms could linger up until daybreak, and then Monday and Tuesday look much better across the region. But the main thing is I want you guys to stay safe, stay weather aware, and not only for your pets and for your safety, but just for everybody in the Wiregrass.
Thanks, Jordan. And WDHN's Aaron Dixon continues our team coverage live from the Houston County EMA. Aaron?
Hey, Jessica and Michael. Yeah, the wind's really starting to pick up here in Houston County outside of the EMA building here in Dothan, where one of the few areas in the Wiregrass that'll be gathering crews together to watch this storm and then from there act. And we are talking about already the storm system is sending strong wind gusts, which could be seen in areas like Dothan when looking at the trees where you can see the limbs shaking. And even driving through downtown this afternoon at the Reeve Street intersection where the traffic lights were swaying back and forth and the street sign was spinning in a circle. Then just less than a mile down the road from there, flags were fluttering after being hit by the strong wind gust. And as far as county EMAs goes, Houston, Henry, and Coffee counties will open up emergency operations centers in their counties to bring in extra or partial staffers to be together while they watch the incoming threat. From there, they will be able to communicate with their staff and emergency crews to let them know when it is safe to respond and what their plan of action needs to be, like they have done in previous severe weather events. All counties say they are also making sure extra patrols are on the road and are making sure equipment is fueled up and staged in the designated locations so it is ready to go when the time arises. Other counties in the area say they aren't doing emergency operation centers, but they will have their eyes on the storm and are staging necessary equipment where it needs to go and have communication with all of their emergency crews. Now, one thing every EMA office has told me today is to make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts and not just to rely on weather sirens, which some say are outdated, or what you see on television. They ask that you download your county's EMA app or the WDHN weather app or the Code Red app to receive these updates to your phone, and make sure you charge your phone and have weather alerts enabled on your device so you'll be ready to go when this severe system enters the area later tonight. Other groups that are ready to go if the need arises are power crews to fight outages. Alabama Power tells me they have extra power crews staged across the state and have added over 3,000 storm resources such as crews and storm teams from 12 states. Then if power outages occur, they have an all hands on deck approach to try and restore all outages as quickly and safely as possible. With the other groups like Wiregrass Electric, Dothan Utilities, and P River Electric, they say they have crews ready to help when the time arises, and some have even brought in extra crews while the others are on standby when the storm passes through. P River says they even have crews working now to help with any outages caused by the severe winds that we are now seeing in the area. And one thing all these power crews make sure to tell me is that when these tornadoes pass through, they're waiting until that tornado completely leaves the area before they send their crews to go and help, because they're trying to make sure they can do things effectively but also safely. We're in Houston County tonight. Aaron Dixon, WDHN News for the Wiregrass.
Thank you very much there, Aaron. And of course, WDHN will be here and we'll have alerts and we'll be on air for any tornado warnings that happen tonight. Of course, our threat begins tonight, lasts into the morning. You can expect us to be on the air, whether it's on Facebook or on WDHN, to tell you about the severe warnings we are seeing. And tonight, law enforcement, they're preparing for what could be a dangerous night of weather. Both Dale County and Coffee County Sheriff's Office, they are doubling down on shifts, getting extra people on patrol. Both the sheriff departments, they do not have a specific location of layouts, but they will have deputies spread throughout the counties with equipment. When it comes to chainsaws or any life-saving tools, they'll be ready to roll out for any situation. In Geneva County, the EMA is gassing up all of their staging equipment. They'll be ready to go for both sides of the P River, and they'll also have extra staff on hand. Currently no word, though, on their patrols.
And more safe havens opening in the Wiregrass. In Geneva County, the Shiloh Baptist Church has a limited capacity. It's first come, first serve. They're located at 873 North Shiloh Road in Hartford. Their doors open at 6 p.m. Andalusia is opening up the junior high school at 701 3rd Street, though they have not said when their doors will open, but they ask that you bring bedding and any personal items that you may need. And in Houston County, the Westgate Church of Christ opens at 7 p.m. Plus the First Baptist Church on Dothan's West Main Street opens at that same time. There's also Southside Baptist Church location on 423 East Cottonwood Road. They open at 7 and will stay open until the morning. The same case for the Mount Enon Baptist Church on 3167 Iris Road and Memphis Baptist Church on 4596 Edens Road. And these are just some of the many locations opening in the Wiregrass. And to see a full list of all of them, just head on over to our website, WDHN.com.
And the weather is postponing a popular race that was set to happen tonight in the Wiregrass. That was the Rattler 250. It was slated to run at 6, but the raceway decided to delay this until tomorrow because of our storm threat. The races will get underway at 1 p.m. at the racetrack. And the system is already wreaking havoc in Missouri. Video captured this moment where a possible tornado hit the city of Rolla. Tad Peters posted this to Facebook. He's now sheltering he was sheltering in a car there by the gas station. You could see the heavy rain and wind. Debris was flying everywhere with lights flashing. Missouri's recorded more deaths than any other state right now with scattered twisters overnight. 11 people have died. John Berthal has more on the aftermath.
Several homes took on a lot of damage here from the wind, tree limbs coming down. And you can see a carport here on Tideland in Bridgeton that it just collapsed right down on the car that was inside. The homeowner who lives here was inside at the time. She's okay. She says she went down to the basement, heard the warnings, heard the sirens, and went downstairs, felt the house shake, pictures on the wall rattle as part of the house collapsing out here in Bridgeton. Just down the street on Scotch, a number of homes also took on damage. There was a box truck that was even blown over on its side. A lot of first responders in the area going door to door, checking on residents, making sure they're okay. Many of them still in shock over the damage that has been done here, but as far as we can tell, no one was injured. That is a good thing. Reporting from Bridgeton, Jeff Berthal.
And also in Missouri, this gas station and a Burger King about 35 miles west of St. Louis here in Franklin County. Damage was also reported in a nearby neighborhood. Caroline Petey has more.
I mean, a tornado, it looks like at least touched down through here. As you can see, this roof comes from this homeowner who said that it came from the front of her house. As you can see, there's a ton of damage in her yard. Her tree branches have just absolutely been snapped as if they are nothing, as if they are toothpicks to this wind. Her gates have been blown open, and as you can tell, I mean, the damage is all from her house and probably surrounding homes, but it goes down this entire block. We're on Longview Drive right now. It's right off of Old Lee Mayferry Road, and right here in Arnold, it's kind of the center of the town, and as you can tell, everyone has been impacted that, whether it's a homeowner, whether it is a property owner, whether it is someone just trying to drive through one of these side roads. Everyone is being impacted. And yes, the storm damage has been very heavy out here in Arnold.
Coming up as this severe weather approaches our area, we have what you need to know if you live in an apartment building.
We're keeping you guys updated on the current severe weather risk. We have multiple tornadoes on the ground across the state. I'm here, and meteorologist Brian Boggiano is here to keep you guys updated and keep you guys safe.